morning, good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of the Reinvent Your Reality Podcast. I'm your host, Jen Palco. Thank you for joining me today. So happy you could be here today. I wanted to talk about something that's been on my mind past day or so, or maybe longer than that. But it's something to do with online influencers and this prideful spiritual selfishness that comes with it. And this is kind of this hidden movement or something that I've been picking up on, the subtle clues of certain areas that I don't necessarily agree with, or it's something that can be borderline dangerous, I feel, because all right, everything's online now. Everybody's out doing an online business. There's a lot of influencers out there. You could say that I'm an influencer. I don't know. I don't like that word, to be honest. I just like putting out content that I hope resonates with people. If it resonates with me, if it doesn't resonate with you, that's fine. But there are certain folks who are out there, and I don't know if they even know the damage that they're possibly doing by such an easy access to their material, something like that. And, I don't know if they understand the full impact of their actions or what they're doing. Maybe they do. They're doing it on purpose. They're doing it to get viewership and stuff like that. I understand that. But there's something right now, and it's kind of like the dark side of the internet. We all know the dark side of the internet. With the convenience comes misinformation, conspiracies, people spreading things very easily. It almost becomes kind of cultish, in my eyes. But I'll go over a few things here that I wrote down that I wanted to bring up. The hidden dangers of some online influencers and the selfish spirituality movement. Now, selfish spirituality, what do you think that means? So, spirituality shouldn't be selfish at all, right? It's all about working together and love and things like this. But I see this a lot. And yes, I'm going to bring up politics. I'm going to bring up COVID and pandemics and all this kind of stuff because it's true, I have found myself limiting myself more to this community online just because I feel, I'll give you an example. I felt even unsure to share, some pictures of, we had remnants of Hurricane Ida yesterday, and my father had taken some pictures, and I wanted to share them online so people could see the particular areas that were hit and flooding, and they were disaster photos. I'll admit they were low vibe photos, man. But I had hesitancy to post them for fear that I would be judged in a particular way, because I talk about spiritual stuff, or I talk about things that try to motivate people or tell people how to live their life in a better, more balanced way. But I felt like I almost didn't want to post them because certain people might look down on me or say, I don't want to communicate with her because it's low vibe stuff she's putting out. And then I thought to myself, oh my God, like, what? Did I join a cult? Like, what the hell is going on in my head? I'm sure you've been there. I mean, we always have like fear of judgment of certain things, but I thought this was particularly interesting. The influence and how it can kind of take over a little bit. And, I'll give you an example. Like earlier in the week, I helped out at a COVID testing clinic in Princeton. And I was like, for $16 an hour, I was just kind of helping people, directing them where to go, what pod to go in with the nurses and things like that. And even just saying that now, there's a little part of me that's like, oh, somebody's going to judge me because I went to a COVID testing clinic. And right then and there, they're going to know that I got the vaccine. And I'm thinking to myself, what is wrong with me again? Like, where did that come from? who cares? Like, yeah, I'm happy that I spent the day there. And actually it gave me some insight because I actually got pleasure. And even though the job it was mundane, it was very boring at times. I got pleasure just from being friendly and nice to people. I got pleasure from making eye contact with people. I mean, we all had masks on, but you can tell when somebody's truly smiling. It shows in their eyes. But it gave me pleasure to do that, to do something very simple and boring and easy. Why? Because it's a little amazing thing that when you're nice to people and you smile at them and you're friendly, they're very nice to you back most of the time. Majority of the time, 99.999% of the time, somebody will smile back, or they'll say thank you, or they'll, I don't know, be friendly back, joke around back. To me, that was such a beautiful thing because I haven't experienced that in a while. All I'm experiencing are people fighting lately and stuff like that. So it's a beautiful thing that when you're nice to people, people are nice to you back. When you're mean to people, when you judge people, when you criticize people, when you're angry and you're projecting your anger out on other people and telling them that they suck or that they should or shouldn't do a particular thing, guess what? Everything in life is a mirror, friends. It mirrors back to you. They get angry back. They get defensive. And there's a fist fight happening, and there's all kinds of shit going down, right? So just a little story that we as humans are simple. I don't know why we make things so complex for ourselves, but we're simple beings. And if we do simple things coming from our heart, then the response we get will be beautiful. It'll be graceful. It'll be nice. So again, back to this, I went way off track, I think, but selfish spirituality is when it gets a little more complex. When it gets to that place of non-simplicity and understanding, of getting to a place of judgment and critique. Oh, that's why I brought this up, because I felt like I shouldn't post photos of something so negative or something, because lately I've been talking about more, a lot of my videos are kind of the negative side. I try to shift perspective on people's ideas. Like sometimes I look back at my videos and I'm like, they're kind of like have a negative vibe to them, but that's who I am. I don't want to be fluffy kittens. I don't want to be toxic positive or anything like that. I want to have both sides and a good balance within me. I want to pull people into the darkness so that they can find their light, so they can light that match and find it. Okay, that's my way. People have different ways. I don't like all that fluffy kitten cloud stuff. Hold a crystal, you'll be fine. I do collect crystals too, by the way, so not denying. And that sounded judgmental too. So see, we're all judgmental and we don't even know it. So anyway, just some things about selfish spirituality is when somebody is it's one thing to have an opinion about something, and it's another to speak it out loud, because a lot of times I think online influencers don't quite know the full extent of the impact on their viewers, the vulnerability of some of their viewers, and somebody who may need more help or assistance than just one video. So there's two sides to this, friends. Two sides to this. There's one side that a video can change somebody's life. It can pull them out of a sort of hole that they're in. But on the other side, it can also give somebody false hope, or somebody who may need even, medical treatment or something, or intervention or something. There's people you could say, oh, well, you could pull somebody out of depression or being in a suicidal state. But everybody is different. Everybody is different. If somebody takes your word for something and they try it and it doesn't work, then that can spiral them down further into a hole. So we have to be very careful with what we say and what we do, even though people will say, no, freedom of speech, man, freedom of speech. But get this, okay? And this is the problem. And this is where selfish spirituality comes in. Okay, spirituality is about yourself. It's about, living in alignment to yourself. It's about connecting to your higher self and connecting, staying grounded while also connecting to higher higher powers that be, whatever you believe. But there's this movement that's all that matters. Like nothing else matters. Like the Metallica song, yes. That nobody else matters in the world. They only see the individual, not the collective unit. That's what I'm trying to say. It all boiled down into that one thing, okay? Don't see the collective unit, how we all work together. It's like fixing only one wheel of a car that has 4 tires that need to be fixed, okay? Just fixing one section. And you say, well, if I fix myself, then other people, will need to fix themselves, blah, blah, blah. No, we're all in this together, buddy. All in this together. Okay? That's just my 2 cents. What else I got here? Yeah, that's it. Focusing on choosing based on the individual, but can neglect the collective. Okay? So there's like 1 and 2 here. Don't know necessarily the extent to that they're having an impact on somebody who may need more than just like video content, stuff like that. And the second thing is they tend to neglect the collective unit. So, I'll add in things like law of attraction, The Secret, New Age spirituality movement, solely focused on manifesting objects and desires and things like that. So that's, in a sense, not... It's very material, right? Very materialistic. So things get kind of glossed over. Everything kind of, I don't know. It's just everything. It's just, I don't know. Anyway, whatever. Let's see here. Yep. One thing to have an opinion, but it's another to share it with the world. People can actually create more division by talking about bringing us all together. And I know that sounds weird, but it's true because what happens? It's like everybody who's saying we need to all be one and do this or do that and be in line to ourselves. It can create some sort of hidden anger. Okay. It's almost like, I don't know, the shadowy figure comes out, some repressed or hidden anger comes out towards people who don't value the same things or have the same opinion or may not be all about love and light and oneness. And it can easily start these anti-movements. Even if the influencer, the person doesn't realize or is not set out to do that, people can take what they say and start to create anti-movements and more division. So these anti-movements can be assembled because they're expecting people to uphold their own values in a particular way. And they, in a sense, they can't be wrong. Everybody else is wrong, but they can't be wrong. The other thing with influencers is like once you take a stand, you kind of have to stick to it. Once people respond and you have millions of followers and things like that, you have to stick with it. So sometimes even if they change, they won't admit it. Or if they want to change, in their brain, it's like, I can't change. Another thing, influencers can easily prey off of discussing people's fears. We know this, vulnerabilities, and can get lost in the process of popularity. Okay, what drives people to buy things? Fear, maybe anger, right? Very moving energy there. So basically, anybody who is out for the money or out to get fame from it, very super like egotistic stuff, like egotism, narcissism, they're going to try as much as possible to drive up people's emotions, because when people are in a heightened emotional state, they're more likely to impulsively buy or click or watch, even stuff like that. Okay. So let me just say, because this can be misconstrued, is that the word I'm trying to say? Not all influencers are bad. Absolutely not. And again, you could say, because I create content, I'm doing this podcast, that maybe I'm influencing somebody in a certain way. But I just wanted to talk about it, okay? I'm not doing it for money. I don't get any money, first of all, off these podcasts. But, if you'd like to support me, you can always donate. I appreciate that because I do enjoy talking about these particular things. If it so happens that one day I do create income off of it, fine. But right now, that's not my focus. But some people, it is their focus. It is their business. They have to keep an audience, okay? Not all influencers are bad. Many are so good, are very good. And it's such a, it's a beautiful thing to be able to reach people who you don't know. But it's also a dangerous thing to reach people who you don't know. And I'll tell you why. The beautiful thing about reaching people who you don't know are some people don't have anybody to go to. They go online. And that is their only network. That is their only support system. But on the downside, if you're speaking to a camera or you're speaking, through Instagram or something like that, you don't personally know the individual. You just know the collective unit that worships you or whatnot, but you don't know that particular individual or that particular individual's story. So in a way, it can be dangerous to just blanket everything to everyone. It's kind of like, take this pill for every single ailment of the million people in front of me. Okay, I'm going to give you the same treatment for everybody. Kind of like Western medicine sometimes, right? But it can be dangerous at the same time. So there are always two sides to this. And I just ask, if you're watching videos or if you are an influencer yourself, you do videos, just be careful sometimes or keep it in the back of your head. Say what you want to say because it's you, it's coming from your heart, but keep it in the back of your mind that you have individuals watching your content who may be suicidal or who may, I don't know, they may be on the edge of something in their life. Okay? Because a lot of times they're watching stuff and they do have those heightened emotions. So I'm not saying not to do it. I'm going to keep doing videos for God's sake. But I just wanted to bring up, that there are sides to this. There is a movement with this selfish notion of not taking into account the collective or how your decisions are affecting the collective, or judgment for certain things. I want to create a space that is balanced between light and dark. I want to create a space where people can be human beings, can go through stuff, can choose to be spiritual and take a vaccine if they want. No black and white, no red or blue pill. One of my good friends, Vivi Mark, who does EFT, she put up something on Instagram that was something to that effect. Like, there's no red or blue pill. Take the damn, there's a purple pill in the middle. So you can be in the middle. And that's what that's what this whole podcast is about. All my videos is that you can be a human being. You don't have to choose sides. You don't have to be spiritual or not spiritual. Throw at that label because I don't like it. I don't like the word. I've mentioned that before. I hate the word. I went to Catholic school for 12, 13 years. And I don't know why I keep talking about spirituality when I hate the word spirituality, to be honest. I don't know why I keep talking about it. It's just coming out. It's like, I don't know, maybe I'm channeling it or whatever, or not. But it's about self-alignment at the end of the day. But it comes out as that word, whatever. So, do what you want to do in your life. You have an honest opinion, that's okay. But just be mindful when you are projecting it out, when you're telling other people, are you educating them on something or are you telling them what to do? Because people who are vulnerable are very easy to manipulate. And this could go into the whole topic of narcissism, and things like that. So I just want to make you aware. So if you want to post something negative on your social media feed, it's perfectly fine. I say it's fine. I'm not telling you what to do, but my opinion is that it's okay if you want to. Don't feel like you're going to be judged. Actually, you're going to have a lot of comments on it because people are attracted to the negative stuff. Just maybe don't do it all the time. We're all going to try and redeem myself today from it. Because, you want to stay optimistic, you want to stay positive, but you don't want to be toxic positive. You don't want to stray from reality too much, is all I'm trying to say. And that's what happens when you can become part of a movement can be almost cultish in a certain way, and teaching things that neglect other things, neglect other people, other human beings, or how it's affecting other people. Or, we could take a topic and we could discuss it from a very generic place, but not get to the individual, is what I'm saying. Okay. It's kind of like the pandemic. I know I got to talk about it, but it's the issue right now. We could look at the numbers and say, oh, well, 1% die, or whatever it is, the small percentage of the whole thing, whatever the 1% equates to. But we can fail to neglect that is an individual, that is somebody. That is your friend's sister or I don't know, father or somebody. Okay? So I learned something from, I think it was one of my teachers or something, that, when we have natural disasters or we have these things that happen in life, COVID, 9/11, earthquakes in other countries, we forget about the individual and we just look at the generic number. In our brain, we don't feel any kind of compassion or empathy for anybody because we just see the number. And as the numbers rise, or, as far as like death toll and things like that, we get desensitized to it. It's like if we keep watching disaster movies or horror movies and things like that, we get desensitized to the blood and the guts and, the explosions and things like that. So it's just something that I find interesting in our brains, how we lose the individual. How if you're an influencer online and you have 1 million followers, it all becomes like this glob of people that you really don't know anything about, that you care about, but you don't care about. You don't know them on a personal level. You don't know, it doesn't matter if your video affects them or whatnot and stuff like that. So this is where it can become dangerous. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking now. I don't know if this was helpful or not. Let me know if it was. I appreciate you listening. I really do. If you want more of my stuff, it's in the bio below this podcast. You could go to my website, www.jenpalco.com. I have a YouTube channel. You can watch my videos. I put out weekly videos. That's youtube.com/jenpalco. What else? I have a book. If you want to pick that up, 12-Step Guide for the Self-Help Book Addict. Other than that, that is all I got for today. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. I truly appreciate you being here till the end. Have a great day, and until next time, peace.